I own you. You belong to me. You are my wife and my property. I will treat you the way I choose, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. This is Nene, a young beautiful girl who got married at the age of 18. Nene is a young girl with dreams and ambition. She had wanted to be a nurse, but after secondary school, her parents gave her out in marriage to Obasi. Obasi is a taxi driver. He treated Nene with so much wickedness, and whenever she complains, Obasi would scream, I own you. I bought you with my money. You are my property, and I will treat you whichever way I chose. Nobody, not even your parents, can do anything about it. As a young girl, Nene witnessed firsthand how much abuse her mother endured in the hands of her father. Her father would always flog their mother with a cane whenever he was angry. On some days, he would lock her out of the house, especially when it is raining. Mama, why is Papa always beating you? Nene would ask her mother. My dear, he is my husband and I belong to him. This is what marriage is. Marriage is hard work and suffering. But Mama, why is Mama Chidi not suffering the way you are suffering? Why is she not always looking dirty and unkempt like you? Why does her husband not beat her the way Papa beats you? Or is her own marriage different? Nene, you ask too many questions. And yes, their own marriage is different from ours, her mother would answer. Somehow, Nene began to grow with these thoughts, and when Obasi married her, all she did was to struggle to be the best wife she could. Initially, Obasi was only verbally abusive, but with time, he became physically abusive. He would beat Nene at every little provocation. Whenever the pain becomes too much, Nene would run back home, but her father would shout at her, telling her to use her mother as a role model. What makes you a good wife is based on the level of abuse and maltreatment you are able to endure. Marriage is endurance. Nene would cry and go back to Obasi. The next time she ran home, her father warned her seriously never to come home or he would disown her. Papa, Obasi wants to kill me, she cried. If he kills you, so be it. As a woman, it is more honorable to die in your husband's house than to die as a single woman. Nene already had 2 children. Her husband works but hardly brings money for food. Nene was feeding the family from her small business. In order to be able to have some savings as a woman, Nene started frying buns every morning, and with time, it grew into a big and lucrative business. Obasi, seeing how lucrative his wife's new business was, stopped doing his business. He said his tax was giving him troubles and he doesn't have the strength to start repairing it. Just like that, Nene started to carry the full responsibility of the family on her young shoulders. She was just 23 but looks 45. Every morning, Nene would wake up by 4 a.m. and start her business, while Obasi would sleep till 7 a.m. Then he would wake up and sit outside without a shirt, just his wrapper around his waist. He would watch Nene struggle to get their children ready for school with her 7 months pregnancy while also selling to her customers. Obasi would never help, not even considering that Nene was pregnant and was feeding the family. After all, she is only but a woman he bought with his money. One day, Nene had struggled to get her children ready for school. She was panting and managed to leave the house with them. They were on their way when a car pulled up in front of them. The woman looked at Nene with so much pity and said to her, Madam, how are you? You look so tired and weak this morning. I am fine, oh, Nene answered. How far is their school from here? Do you mind if I drop you people off at their school? Nene hesitated, but she was tired and really needed that help. Thank you so much, oh. God bless you, ma, she said as she lifted her 2 boys into the car. Immediately she tried to enter, the woman zoomed off with her car. The speed at which the woman moved her car made Nene fall face down, hitting her baby bump on the floor. For a second, Nene sat in so much pain, trying to process what just happened. Her children were gone. She couldn't even scream. She managed to stand up and quietly went home. That was how she went into premature labor. Out of fear of what Obasi would do to her, she couldn't tell him what happened. She got home and the pain was too much. Obasi saw her and didn't even bother to ask what was wrong with her. Instead, he shouted at her for taking so much time for school run as he demanded for his breakfast. Nene in tears told him she was in labor. So because you are in labor, I will not have my breakfast. Madam, get me my food. Nene with pain served him his breakfast, packed up her goods and headed to the hospital. After school, Nene intentionally sent a neighbor to bring her children from school, but the neighbor came back with the report that the children were absent in school that day. Yet, Obasi sat down waiting for his wife, the burden bearer, to come home and look for their kids. After all, he is a man and must be worshipped and obeyed. Being a protector and a provider is not part of Obasi's job description. As the night drew near and he didn't see his wife and kids, that was when he moved body. He angrily ran to the hospital, but the doctors didn't allow him access to Nene. She was in severe pain and they've been calling him to sign a consent form. But since he refused to come, Nene signed the form and they were preparing her for surgery. Obasi knew that this time, water don't pass garri. Where are my children? He asked himself. He was confused. He didn't have any money with him. One thing Nene did even in her pain was to make sure she put together every money she had and left the hospital with it. The major reason Obasi ran to the hospital was to ask her for money after he ransacked the entire house and didn't see anything. He managed to get to the police station to report about his two missing children. A search began, but the children were never found. Surgery was successful, but Nene lost the child. The fall she had after her children were taken away from her affected her unborn child. She stayed for 1 week in the hospital after her surgery. She couldn't believe that her two children were gone. 5 years of her life wasted in a painful marriage. Nene cried out in pain. This suffering is too much for me and I can't continue like this. If only Obasi was helpful, this wouldn't have happened. Obasi never visited her after the surgery. Her sister was the one taking care of her. 2 weeks after Nene's surgery and his children's disappearance, Obasi became worried as to why Nene was not back home. Then he went to the hospital and he was told Nene was discharged a week ago. He was so angry and thought she had gone to her father's house. But on getting there, they told him Nene never visited. He knew she would eventually come home as usual, but she never did. And no one heard from her, not even her family. So this is how my 5 years of marriage ended and you did nothing. And all this happened because of my selfishness, wickedness and laziness. But then, her mother stayed and endured all the abuse. Even my mother. Why is Nene's own different? Obasi cried. Obasi failed to understand that times have changed. Marriage is designed to better one's life and not to ruin it. Nene left and with her savings managed to give herself a better life. She hustled and sent herself to school, became a trained nurse and lived a happy life away from her father and her husband. And guess what? Love found her. But this time, it was pure, selfless, wealthy and undiluted love. Moral lesson. Nene's story teaches that no matter how difficult life gets, especially in abusive situations, courage and determination can lead to a better future. Trust should be given carefully, and even in moments of kindness, it is important to stay vigilant. But above all, everyone deserves safety, respect, and the chance to rebuild their life. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, please and please subscribe to my channel to support my growth. And to my subscribers, thank you so much for supporting me. I really appreciate your kindness. I do not take it for granted. And I pray that God will continue to bless you. Do not forget to on your notification bell for more interesting stories from Amaka's folk tales. Bye bye.